Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the regular scheduled City Council meeting for Wednesday, March 19th, 2025. Let the record show all councilors are present. At this time, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Move on to adds and deletes. Add consent agenda number 11 and number 14. Could I get approval of the agenda?
Motion approved.
Motion approved by Councilor Schweberger.
Support.
Support by Councilor Fossil. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Motion carries. We'll move on to approval of the minutes. 1, approve the minutes of the joint meeting of the Hibbing City Council and the Hibbing Public Utilities Commission of March 11, 2025. Wishes of the council.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion approved by Councilor Hoffman-Sockman.
Support.
Support by Councilor Bayless. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Move on to 2, approve the minutes of the Hibbing City Council meeting of March 12, 2025. Wishes of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion approved by Councilor Whitney.
Support.
Support by Councilor Schweberger. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. 3, approve the minutes of the Hibbing City Council workshop of March 12, 2025. Wishes of the council.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Councilor Fossil.
Support.
Support by Councilor Bayless. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This time we'll move on to consent agenda. 1, approve the accounts payable of March 13, 2025 drafts and checks number 179545 through 179635 in the amount of $1,932,262.24. 2, approve the payroll ending March 7, 2025 in the amount of $641,096.85. 3, declare garbage truck as surplus. 4, approve the recreation instructor job description. 5, approve the 2024 interfund transfer and loans. 6, approve the 2024 budget adjustments. Seven, approve the property casualty insurance renewal for policy period 3/1/25 through 3/1/26. 8, declare 2016 Chevrolet 3500 ambulance VIN number 1GB6GUCL9G1258769 M4 as surplus. 9, authorize the mayor or city clerk to sign a lease agreement between the city of Hibbing and the film crew of Loveset's Maneuver at the Hibbing Electronics property between March 24th and April 30th in an amount of $1,000. 10, approve the 2025 massage therapy license of Amanda Hammond of Balance Massage and Aesthetic Studio at 101 East 37th Street, Suite 11. 11, approve the temporary on-sale liquor license for United Way Parkside Bank Adelson and Peterson Construction to have Boomtown Catering Group Incorporated dispense alcohol at the Memorial Building on Thursday, March 20th, 2025. 12, set the next regular Hibbing City Council meeting for Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025 at 5 p.m. in the Hibbing City Council chambers. 13, set the next City Council workshop session for Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025 following the 5 p.m. regular meeting in the Hibbing Council chambers. 14, authorize City Hibbing Council to attend Highland Hills Public Meeting in the Veterans Room in the Memorial Building on March 24th at 6 p.m. Wishes of the council.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read and published.
Motion approved by Councilor Hoffman-Sockman.
Support.
Support by Councilor Hildebrand. Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We have nothing for public forum tonight. We'll move on to department and committee reports, and at this time, we'll move on to building official, Mr. Pat Green.
Mayor and Council, the first item is a zoning amendment to rezone a parcel for Iron Range Plumbing and Heating, and this would be rezoned from R2 to C2A, which is general commercial. This parcel is located at 2214 Second Avenue West. Planning Commission heard this and approved this unanimously. It would be to expand their business. There are some parcels off of First Avenue and Howard Street. That's all zones C2. But towards the rear, across the alley, there are a few parcels that are also C2. It appeared like this would be a good use to further expansion.
Okay, hearing what Mr. Green had to say about rezoning for Iron Range Plumbing and Heating. Wishes of the council.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion approved by Counselor Bayless,
Support.
supported by Counselor Fossil. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Pat B.
B is zoning amendment again to rezone parcel for the city of Hibbing from R2, which is 1 to 4 family dwelling, to R3 multiple family dwelling for development in that parcel.
Okay. hearing
That
what-
is located, that parcel is located near the Grace Lutheran Church. That.
Hearing what Mr. Green had to say, rezoning R2 to R3. Wishes of the council.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Counselor Schweberger,
Support. Go ahead, Jim.
support by Counselor Whitney. Or, yep. Counselor Whitney, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. C, Mr. Green.
This again is a zoning amendment from the city of Hibbing, our property, to rezone this parcel from I-2, which is light industrial, or it's supposed to be I-1, light industrial, to R3, multifamily dwelling again.
Okay.
Again, the Planning Commission heard this. This would be for a multifamily future development. Everything sounded good. We did have public notices. There was not much response, no questions. And the Planning Commission voted unanimously for approval.
Very good. Hearing what Mr. Green had to say from R1 to R3.
This would be I-1.
I1, I'm sorry, from I1 to R3. Wishes of the council.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Hoffman Sockman,
Support.
support by Counselor Schweberger. Any discussion for Mr. Green? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, Pat. We'll move on to Chief of Police, Mr. Esty.
Mayor and Council, good evening. Looking for council approval to accept a $7,500 grant from the American Kennel Club. This grant will be used towards the purchase of our new K9 gunner.
Very good. We're looking for support for resolution accepting a grant for the K-9 gunner, correct?
Hmm.
Wishes of the council.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Counselor Whitney,
Support.
support by Counselor Fossil. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Congratulations. Nice looking dog.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll move on to City Attorney, Mr. Borland.
Mayor, members of the council, I believe within your packet you would find a proposed resolution waiving referral to the planning commission of a conveyance and then a purchase back of real property with the Housing and Redevelopment Authority. This actually is with regard to the property that is there, was where the buses were stored for the transportation building out by the about our sanitation area. Because of some loans under that property and to get out from underneath that, we had to find a willing third party to sell that property to, and we have to literally go through the sale, and then we can buy it back from them. We reached out to Ms. Prescott from the HRA, and the HRA is willing to be that conduit to allow this to happen. This is to get out from underneath our obligations with regard to the Minnesota management and budget requirements with regard to the government bonds that were used to finance that property in the first place. So because we're literally selling the property and buying it back, and the HRA is having a public hearing on this next week, I think on March 26th to consider this, I don't believe it needs to go to, before the planning commission, because the whole idea of this exercise is that we get the same property back that we started with. So that's why I'm requesting waiving the planning commission's review.
Okay. And Andy, adding one thing, we did work with the state of Minnesota, and I think you just mentioned that, on finding a way forward for us to secure this building. That's how we're here.
Yes, the clerk's office, to their credit, were able to work with the state, and they suggested this as a potential alternative to try and relieve us of the obligations we have.
Very good. Hearing what Mr. Borland had to say on Resolution 250308. Wishes of the council.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Councilor Hoffman-Sockman,
Support.
support by Councilor Schweberger. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. B, Mr. Borland.
Mayor, members of the council, this is the same concept. Last week, you approved a purchase agreement with respect to purchasing property that's currently owned by Sullivan Candy and Supply. They have a dilapidated building. We do have a court order to tear the building down, but we were seeking to buy the property so we could have control of it. This is just simply not have to go through the planning commission first, and simply go ahead and try and purchase the property if we can get clear title to it.
Okay. Hearing what Mr. Borland had to say regarding Resolution 25-0309. Wishes of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion approved by Councilor Bayless.
Support.
Support by Councilor Hildebrand. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Mayor, I think I have a C tonight, whether it's on your agenda or not clearly. Earlier this week, residents contacted the city clerk and the city administrator with respect to Hibbing Village, also known as the Forest Heights Trailer Park. The owner there would like to do some extensive remodeling. Sounds like a good idea in the long run with regard to doing this. However, when looking at the statute and the concerns raised by at least one of the residents out there, under the statute, you have to give 12 months notice to move forward with such a project when you're literally relocating everyone who resides in your park. And the statute doesn't distinguish between a temporary closure, as the owner described in his letter, and a permanent closure. So I drafted a letter, and I believe a copy of it was provided to you guys this evening, of what I would intend to send to the owner, advising him that I don't believe he can proceed in this fashion. But I am copying in the Department of Health and the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency, the Attorney General's office, because per the notice, if he was going to actually notify the residents, he had to also notify the Department of Health and the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency, because there could be potential funds available for those people to relocate and apply for, and I think that whole process through the state takes some time. So that's the letter I wanted to convey to the owner, to understand that I don't believe that he can proceed in this fashion, and a copy of this is going to Mr. Green as well, so he's aware going forward.
Very good. Hearing what Mr. Borland had to say, and with the information provided, wishes of the council.
I just want a motion to approve the
Motion to
sending the
approve,
letter.
yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Councilor Bayless.
Support.
Support by Councilor Schweberger. Any other discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
may I approach? Thank you very much, Council. Mr. Mayor, my name is Tom Potocnik. I am a resident of the Forest Heights Mobile Home Park, now being called Hibbing Village. Mr. City Attorney, Mr. Boland, I thank you very much for the drafting of this letter and for the language you included. But the one question I would like to ask staff is, we still have the threat of the water being shut off on May 1st. That was the initial implication of the letter, and supposedly it's coming from Hibbing Public Utilities. So my question for the council and for the mayor and for the staff is that, is there any way to look into, see if this threat or request or whatever it's being called is, first of all, real? Secondly, can the PUC do this even if the council has presented this and passed this resolution so that we wouldn't have water on May 1st?
Mayor?
Yes, Counselor Bayless?
Thank you. Tom, thank you, by the way, for reaching out earlier. I did get a reply back from Luke. I just asked him the simple question about HPU. That message did not come down from Hibbing Public Utilities.
Okay.
There was some work that needed to be done out there, but ultimately what's happening is the problem was on their end. They need to fix their problem, but we did not tell them that we are going to shut them off. They're choosing to shut off because they need to fix their problems.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was not an order from HPU. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Does this letter, Mr. City Attorney, if I might ask you the question, would this letter prevent them from shutting off the water?
This doesn't address the water specifically at all. It was addressed with regard to their closing of the park. The water is let's say, a separate issue. I haven't spoken to Mr. Peterson with regard to the issue or not. I think if I'm not mistaken, because of some issues that have happened in the past, there is a way for the residents to potentially maintain the water if in fact the owner won't pay the bill. So I don't know if the owner gets our letter, whether or not that will change his position with regard to the shutting off the water anyway, because we're essentially saying we don't think legally you can shut down your park and displace the residents. So.
Yeah, I don't have a legal opinion. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think they can just shut off your service without a resolution for water. There's got to be something in there. I think that was actually requested that they had things metered separately anyways after they were supposed to do their repairs.
That was part of their long-term plan.
Yeah.
But still, the PUC has shut off the water in emergency situations,
Yes.
which I understand, but still, if they're gonna do it automatically on May 1st, that leaves everybody still in a lurch.
Yeah, and I think that is a choice by the owner. That is not HPU choosing to shut that off, so, yeah.
Thank you
Tom,
for,
I would ask that you fill out a sheet right there, basically for having the opportunity to speak before the council.
yes, and
I appreciate letting you come up because it's very pertinent to this discussion. But I would like you to fill out a form because we have to have that on record.
absolutely, and I would like to thank everyone, especially City Administrator Gregg, Councilor Bayless, and City Attorney Borland for all their help in this matter. You've been very, very helpful to all the residents, and on behalf of the residents, I thank you for all that you've done so far.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
We will now move on to City Administrator report. Is there anything, Craig, that you need? Oh, I'm sorry. You do need a motion in a second.
We got it.
We have a motion in a second. We did have some great discussion. So, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you. At this time, we'll move on to you, Mr. Kuczynski.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, thank you. A few things from my office this evening. I think our City Council is aware, maybe our residents are not aware, but we did cancel our workshop for this evening. Remember, the agenda reflected we wanted to do a live update to the City Council on the Public Safety Building. We also wanted to do a live update on our Public Works facility and the status of that. Because we were not able to bring all of those details together, we're going to forego that. We'll probably, we're hoping to be able to update you on the 2nd of April during the regular meeting. So that'll be the plan for that. So I want our residents to know that, and they can look for that. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on, and actually I'm going to kick it over to Steve for the Cleanup Day 2025. I know that was hugely popular the last 2 years that we've done it, back by popular demand. Steve, if you want to give a quick little update on that.
Yeah, so the date this year will be June 7th. We've been trying to do it that first weekend, usually in June. The exact format yet, we're not certain. Got to talk internally with Public Works and figure out the best game plan for that. But it's definitely been well received the last 2 years. So I think we definitely want to pull that off again this year. Give our residents a chance to clean their stuff up before we start blight enforcement for the year.
And that was going to be a Friday, Saturday again?
It seemed like, what were your thoughts, Councilor Whitney? Does 2 days seem better, 1 day? What do you feel?
I definitely think the 2 days were good.
Sure.
I think if it's just one, it'll be you might get overwhelmed. Like 2 days seem to spread it out nice.
Perfect. So,
I, of course, will help again for both days, so.
yep. So 6th and 7th, then we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good, I thank you. Is that it then?
That's it for my office, thank you.
All right. At this time, we'll move on to bids and quotes, and Mr. Story, you're gonna present.
Mayor, Council, so this year we budgeted for a container handler truck for our sanitation department. This will replace the 2002 truck we currently have. We use this to haul residential cans, commercial cans when we do the deliveries. So the fleet manager, we did get a quote from Ford of Hibbing for $67,892 for the chassis. We did get another, this is not a state contract price. We did get another quote for a state contract through a dealer in the metro area. It was about $400 less than the price from Ford of Hibbing. We'd like to go with the Ford of Hibbing truck because one, it's local, it's close if we have problems. And second reason is if we send 2 of our public works employees with a pickup to the cities to pick it up, it's gonna be over $400 for wages and fuel. So we'd like to move forward with the purchase from Ford of Hibbing for the chassis. And then the body is from ABM Equipment in the amount of $59,895 for a total of $127,787 plus tax title license on just the chassis, not the body. So I'm asking for council approval.
Okay, hearing what Mr. Story had to say regarding the sanitation quotes on the sanitation container truck, wishes of the council.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Councilor Bayless,
Support.
supported by Councilor Fossil. Any discussion? Timing on this, Jesse, is there a time frame?
Fleet manager said about 8 weeks.
8 weeks, okay.
Yeah. 8 weeks for the chassis to get to the, where they're gonna put the body on.
Okay, well, the
Yep.
chassis has been more of a problem in the
Yep.
past. Very good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. At this time, we'll move on to boards and commissions. Tonight, we are nominating for Hibbing Public Utilities. We have 3 terms. 2 are 2 years, 1 is 3 years. We will be starting with the 3-year term, which goes through 2028. At this time, we have 5 applicants, and so I am looking for the one we're looking to fill the vacancy for a 3-year term ending 3/31/2028. So, looking for nominations.
I would like to nominate Julie Sansky.
Okay, do we have a second?
I will support that.
Okay. All right, is there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay, hearing no other nominations, do we still need a vote on that? Okay,
You
we
do.
need 4 votes. So we have a motion and a second, wishes of the council. So,
I think
all
you
in
just go
favor,
to
say aye.
move to the vote.
Yep,
Yep.
vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. The Sandsteed fills vacancy that goes through 3/31/2028. At this time, we'll go 1 vacancy completing a 3-year term ending 3/31/2027. So I am opening it up for nominations.
I'll nominate Jesse Babich.
Okay, we have a second.
Support.
Support by Councilor Hoffman-Sockman. Looking for a second nomination. Second nomination? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Term 3, it is 1 vacancy completing a 3-year term ending 3/31/2027. Wishes of the council.
Mayor,
Yes,
I'd like to nominate Jeff Hart.
we are nominating Jeff Hart. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Okay, I can nominate, correct?
Yes,
Yes. I'd like to nominate Larry Folstein.
Support.
Support, we have from Councilor Hoffman-Sockman. Okay, any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing none, we will go to a vote. All those in favor of Jeff Hart, say aye.
Aye.
We need a, I guess, a
Just do a
verbal?
roll call.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Bayless,
In favor?
in favor. Mr. Basso.
In favor.
Mr. Schweberger.
Opposed.
Okay. I am, at this time, going to oppose.
Oppose?
Support.
Support?
Support.
All right. We have a 4-3 vote, and Mr. Hart is back on. So we have a final. So our 3 commission members will be Julie Sandsteed, Jesse Babich, and Jeff Hart.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would just like to say thanks to all 5 of them. This is hard because they're all 5 are good.
Yes, they
good-
are.
Good
They're
people.
outstanding.
Very good.
They, Mr. Kohler, he reached out to me. He
Yep.
seemed like a very solid individual. So him and Mr. Folstad, I hope they keep being interested in being on this board because in my opinion, a little stability for a while is good and then some new faces are good. So I mean, those are 2 good names to have in the hopper. So I don't want them to be discouraged or anything or think none of us support them either. But it's 5 good candidates for 3 spots, and it was a real tough choice. But the 3 that are currently on there do a good job, and yeah, that's just what I'd like to say.
I appreciate those comments and thoughts. Yes.
I just have a question.
Bayless.
Just have a question if we could touch on, when is the next appointments? Because this one got kind of jumbled up when we waited a while. When are we scheduled to do more appointments for this commission?
For the public utilities, I mean, I could pull it up. I know our next one, this completes everybody through the end of 27 and 28. So I would bet there's one that will be up for 29 next year at this time. We're,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Okay, so 27 will be the next time we have to appoint anybody.
26.
26.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah,
26,
so
okay.
next year.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the 2 seats. That's Jeff's and mine, right? Stokes and mine, essentially,
Correct.
the ones that we're in, okay.
Yeah, and just to give you a heads up, so we are now working on the planning commission. So just to bring you through how we got to this point, we had a committee that, we had interviews for the public utilities. They went really well. What we'd like to do is bring at least 1 counselor in. We were trying to get this to this level today so that they could start in April. With the planning commission, I would like to bring in 1 counselor to help. That way, you know, we're not recommending, but at least someone from the council would be on that interviewing board. So if anyone is interested, just get a hold of me. And they're going to be next week, so they would be Tuesday. I think they're on Tuesday. If anyone has a full day to hang out with us, it would be great. Yeah. So, thank you.
Any other comments? Well, I think, just to reiterate what Councilor Whitney had to say, we had 5 outstanding applicants. We had 3 outstanding returning applicants. And it's exciting that we'll have continuity moving forward as we move on with our collaboration and joint workshops. So that is a good thing. With that, adjournment, motion for adjournment. So moved. So moved by Councilor Bayless. Support. Support by Councilor Schweberger. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carries.